What whispers through the shadows when we tell a lie? What subtle tremors ripple across our essence when the truth bends? Welcome, seeker, to the eternal library, where the invisible currents of energy, the architecture of the soul, and the echoes of our actions converge into a map of profound mystery. Today we explore the realm where deception meets the aura, a luminous field reflecting not only intentions but vibrations of words and thoughts. Ancient texts, from the Hermetic scrolls to the writings of Paracelsus, the alchemist mapping the body as a microcosm, suggest that dishonesty is not merely a social misstep but a disturbance in the energetic lattice around us. Every lie, no matter how small, introduces a subtle discord, like a note out of tune in a vast symphony. This discord reflects inwardly upon the mind and outwardly upon those we interact with. Ramon Llull, the Doctor Illuminatus, proposed that the soul's clarity relies on harmony between thought, word, and deed. When these align, the aura shines with luminous clarity, yet when one falters, the energy becomes dense, foggy, and hard to read. Even modern energy researchers note that lying triggers physiological responses: tension, microtremors, and subtle distortions in the electromagnetic field surrounding us. The aura, like a mirror, reflects these distortions. Each smudge alters perception, intuition, and connection. Historical accounts of the Rosicrucians emphasize integrity as energetic, not merely moral. One dishonest word creates eddies in the etheric body, altering vitality and inviting imbalance. Helena Blavatsky warns that habitual lying layers opaque veils over the aura, dimming spiritual clarity and inviting misunderstanding. In social resonance, trust is energy. Falsity makes exchanges erratic, and sensitive individuals may subconsciously detect the dissonance. Eastern philosophy aligns, with prana flowing in harmony when speech is truthful, but turbulence forming when it is not. Kabbalists teach that words carry sacred vibrations. Lies fracture alignment with cosmic resonance. Even modern quantum consciousness studies hint that intentions behind speech modulate the informational field around us, shaping interactions subtly. So, lying is not merely an ethical dilemma, it's a ripple in the unseen tapestry, a distortion with far-reaching consequences. As we continue, we will explore how habitual deception leaves recognizable marks in the aura, and how restoring truth realigns energy, transforming both self and unseen world around us. Authority echoes. Paracelsus, the father of alchemy, insisted body and soul are inseparable. Ramon Llull warned that dishonesty clouds the soul's mirror. Rosicrucian manuscripts assert that integrity in speech is the cornerstone of luminous vitality. Deception is subtle, often disguised as convenience, white lies, or half-truths, yet its ripple through the aura is undeniable. Imagine the aura as a pool of liquid light surrounding the body. Each thought, word, and action drops a ripple across its surface. When we lie, even silently to ourselves, these ripples clash, creating turbulence that can feel imperceptible yet accumulate over time. The medieval mystic, Meister Eckhart, spoke of the soul as a mirror reflecting divine light. Any distortion in honesty clouds that reflection, dimming clarity and intuition. Similarly, the Taoist philosopher Laozi suggested that harmony in speech maintains the flow of vital energy, whereas deception blocks it, like a dam in a river. Consider the work of modern energy healers who observe these patterns. Habitual liars often display concentrated clouds in their subtle bodies, pockets of dense, stagnant energy that correspond to dishonesty, fear, or shame. Even the great seer Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, emphasized that integrity strengthens the human energy field, aligning the physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. Authority whispers again. Paracelsus reminded that the body is the microcosm of the macrocosm, and every falsehood alters the delicate balance. Llull insisted that the mind cannot perceive divine truth when shadowed by deceit. Rosicrucians taught that lying erodes the bridge between self and cosmic order. These distortions are not only spiritual but practical. In social interactions, lies create energetic tension, subtly signaling unease to others, often before words betray them. The aura, therefore, is both a recorder and a broadcaster of truth, revealing what the conscious mind may try to hide. Even in modern neuroscience, the stress response triggered by lying aligns with ancient observations. The body and subtle energies respond in tandem, generating patterns of disharmony. This invisible architecture suggests that our energetic field is a living record of moral alignment, vibrating with honesty or deception. As we proceed, we will explore the mechanics of these energetic imprints in greater depth, examining how lies manifest in aura colors, patterns, and intensity, and how awareness of these subtle signals can guide us toward clarity, balance, and ultimately self-mastery. The question emerges: can we ever truly hide from ourselves, when the aura silently echoes each distortion, each shadow, each hidden truth? The impact of deception on the aura is not merely abstract. It manifests in shapes, colors, and densities, creating a map of truth and falsehood that can be read by those attuned to subtle energies. Imagine the aura as a vast, multidimensional temple, each layer a reflection of thought, emotion, and intention. When we lie, certain layers darken or ripple unpredictably, forming distortions like storm clouds across an otherwise calm sky. The 17th century alchemist and mystic Athanasius Kircher noted that energy follows intention, and when that intention is dishonest, the natural flow is interrupted, creating pockets of tension and imbalance. Similarly, Madame Blavatsky wrote extensively about vibrational shadows, areas of the subtle body that become thickened by untruth, generating confusion and misalignment. Modern clairvoyants describe these distortions as auric fingerprints of deception, detectable even when the lie is small or seemingly harmless. In the Taoist energy system, the nadis or channels of life force become constricted by dishonesty, leading to subtle discomforts, irritability, or an inner sense of disquiet that one cannot easily shake. Authority once again guides us. Edgar Cayce claimed that untruths accumulate energetically like sediment, dulling the soul's resonance. Paracelsus asserted that moral and energetic harmony are inseparable. Ramon Llull warned that a single untruth can fog the mirror of perception, making it difficult to discern spiritual realities. Even in modern psychology, lying triggers physiological stress, hinting that our subtle energies are tightly coupled with body and mind. Socially, these auric distortions ripple outward, subtly influencing those around us. Trust falters, empathy diminishes, and connections that rely on energetic resonance weaken. The energy of deception does not vanish with the spoken word. It lingers, a silent signature of dissonance that can linger for hours, days, or even longer, until intention, recognition, and truth work to realign it. As we continue, we will explore not only how lies manifest in the aura, but also the mechanisms by which self-awareness and integrity can repair these energetic fractures, restoring clarity, vibrancy, and resonance. The temple of our energy is resilient, but it is a living mirror. Each act of deception leaves a trace, each confession and alignment heals it, and in this ongoing dance, the seeker must learn to navigate the shadow while embracing the light. Deception's effect on the aura often begins subtly, almost imperceptibly, yet its accumulations over time can become profound. Consider the human aura as a vast, radiant ocean, each emotion and intention sending waves across its surface. A single lie is like a pebble dropped into this sea. The immediate ripple may be small, but repeated acts of dishonesty stir turbulence that can spread to every layer of our energetic field. The 13th century philosopher and mystic Ramon Llull likened the soul to a crystal mirror, reflecting the harmony or discord of our thoughts and deeds. Even the smallest distortion in honesty casts a shadow upon its surface. Helena Blavatsky, theosophical scholar and esoteric authority, warned that habitual lying produces dense areas in the aura, reducing clarity, sensitivity, and spiritual perception. Modern clairvoyants note that these densifications often appear as darkened swirls or irregular shapes, especially near the throat and solar plexus, centers associated with expression and personal power. The 17th century Rosicrucians observed that lies are energetic imbalances that accumulate like sediment in a riverbed, slowly obstructing the natural flow of vitality and insight. Paracelsus, the father of modern alchemy, emphasized that body, mind, and spirit form a single energetic system. Dishonesty in one aspect reverberates through all. Even contemporary energy healers describe auric knots, tangles in the subtle body created by repeated deception, leading to emotional instability, self-doubt, or confusion in perceiving others' intentions. These energetic patterns are not merely internal. They interact with the fields of others, subtly influencing social dynamics, trust, and the flow of energy in shared spaces. Imagine standing in a room where multiple subtle distortions exist. The tension is palpable even if unspoken, the resonance of truth and falsity intertwining invisibly. The energy of deception is a silent architect of our experiences, shaping perceptions, attracting circumstances, and influencing choices long after the lie is spoken. As we delve deeper, we will examine the ways habitual dishonesty manifests in aura colors and intensity, and how conscious alignment, confession, and truthfulness can restore energetic harmony. Authority whispers once more. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, reminded that integrity strengthens the human energy field. Ramon Llull cautioned against even minor distortions of truth, and Rosicrucian texts assert that each untruth leaves a lasting imprint until consciously addressed. Understanding these patterns is the first step toward reclaiming clarity, cultivating inner harmony, and learning to navigate both shadow and light within the energetic landscape of our being. The ripple of deception extends beyond the individual, reaching into interactions and shared energy. Imagine each person as a luminous orb, their aura pulsating in rhythm with thoughts, emotions, and intentions. When dishonesty enters, it sends subtle shockwaves that others may unconsciously perceive. Shamans and clairvoyants throughout history have described these as auric tremors, vibrations that signal dissonance even before words confirm it. Edgar Cayce, revered for his trance readings, spoke of untruths as disturbances in the life force, creating blockages that manifest emotionally or physically over time. Paracelsus reinforced this notion, asserting that body, mind, and subtle energy are inseparable. A lie in thought or speech echoes across all layers. Even in modern terms, psychologists note that the stress of lying triggers microtensions in the nervous system, which, according to esoteric interpretations, translate into distortions within the aura. The Kabbalists teach that every word carries sacred vibration, so dishonesty misaligns one with the cosmic order, generating subtle imbalance. Repeated deception is like adding layer upon layer of fog over a crystal-clear mirror, gradually obscuring intuition, clarity, and the ability to perceive higher truths. The Taoists liken it to constricted qi channels, where energy stagnates and emotional turbulence grows, quietly eroding personal power. Blavatsky's writings remind us that these vibrational shadows accumulate over time, creating dense areas that reduce sensitivity to subtle guidance. Rosicrucian texts assert that integrity in speech is essential to maintaining a luminous aura, which in turn attracts harmony and alignment in one's environment. Even seemingly minor lies, a social white lie, a small exaggeration, leave energetic traces that can influence both inner balance and external interactions. Our auras act as living maps of alignment and misalignment, and awareness of these subtle imprints can guide the seeker toward restoration. Understanding how deception affects not only our own energy but also the shared energy of those around us is crucial. The moment we recognize the ripple, we begin the process of healing, aligning intention, and restoring resonance. As we move forward, we will explore the mechanisms by which habitual lies produce visible auric patterns, and how conscious effort, truthfulness, and self-reflection can dissolve these shadows, rekindling clarity, vitality, and energetic harmony. Authority echoes yet again. Jung, Blavatsky, Cayce, and Paracelsus all point to the inseparability of truth, energy, and alignment, a subtle architecture that mirrors the soul itself. Lying leaves signatures not only in energy but in behavior, posture, and subtle expression, all intertwined with the aura's vibration. Think of the aura as a luminous garment, each thread reflecting thought, emotion, and intention. Dishonesty weaves knots and tangles that distort its natural flow. Edgar Cayce observed that even fleeting falsehoods create temporary auric shadows, felt as heaviness or tension in both self and others. Paracelsus emphasized that the body is a microcosm, and disruption in speech or thought affects the entire system. Blavatsky describes these distortions as dense regions that dull perception, intuition, and the soul's natural clarity. Shamans and clairvoyants consistently report seeing energetic knots or cloudy swirls around habitual liars, often concentrated in the throat and solar plexus, where expression and personal power reside. In Eastern philosophy, chi or prana flows are hindered by deceit, leading to subtle stagnation, irritability, or inner discomfort. The Kabbalists teach that words carry sacred vibration. Dishonesty fractures alignment with cosmic resonance. Even modern science aligns. Lying triggers microstress responses, linking body, mind, and energy in an intricate feedback loop. Socially, these distortions ripple outward. Trust falters, emotional resonance dims, and connections subtly weaken. Each lie, like a pebble in a pond, generates waves that interact, reinforcing patterns of dissonance. Awareness becomes the key. Recognizing the energetic consequences of dishonesty allows one to consciously repair the aura, restore flow, and regain clarity. The subtle body is resilient, capable of healing when truth, integrity, and conscious alignment are cultivated. Authority whispers again. Ramon Llull reminded us that even a single untruth clouds the soul's mirror. Rosicrucian texts affirm that integrity in speech safeguards vitality, and Edgar Cayce insisted that the energetic field responds directly to honesty. As we proceed, we will uncover how repeated deception shapes the aura's colors, textures, and intensity, and explore practices of energetic restoration that realign self, relationships, and subtle resonance with the cosmos. The longer deception persists, the more pronounced its effects become, etching patterns into the aura that reflect habitual dishonesty. Imagine walking through a temple of light where each corridor represents a layer of your subtle body. Lies act like smudges on the walls, obscuring symbols, pathways, and mirrors that reveal inner truth. Edgar Cayce described this phenomenon as energetic sediment, where repeated falsehoods thicken the aura, reducing sensitivity and intuition. Paracelsus taught that such distortions ripple through the body and spirit alike, showing how closely energy and morality intertwine. Even minor exaggerations or self-deceptions can accumulate over time, generating dense pockets of disharmony in the throat, heart, and solar plexus, centers of expression, emotion, and personal power. Shamans and clairvoyants have long reported seeing auric knots, or shadowy swirls, which they associate with dishonesty, secrecy, or suppressed truth. Eastern philosophy echoes this. In Taoist qi channels or yogic nadis, stagnation caused by deceit restricts the flow of life force, creating subtle discomfort, impatience, or emotional turbulence. Blavatsky's writings emphasize that the soul's clarity dims as the layers of untruth accumulate, veiling the individual in energetic fog. The Kabbalists assert that words are sacred vibrations. Lies fracture alignment with cosmic resonance, subtly altering outcomes and attracting disharmonious circumstances. Even in social settings, the ripple of deception is palpable. Trust wavers, connections strain, and sensitive individuals perceive the dissonance before conscious words confirm it. Recognizing these energetic signatures is crucial for restoration. Awareness initiates the process of untangling knots, dissolving clouds, and repairing the subtle body's flow. Authority speaks across time. Ramon Llull warned that a single lie clouds the soul's mirror. Rosicrucians insisted that integrity protects luminous vitality. Edgar Cayce reminded that the energy field responds directly to truth. As we continue, we will explore how intentional alignment, self-reflection, and energetic consciousness can gradually cleanse these distortions, restoring clarity, vibrancy, and resonance within both self and interactions, revealing the hidden architecture of light that lies beneath the veil of deception. Cleansing the aura from the residue of deception is not an overnight act but a gradual unfolding, like mist lifting from a hidden garden. The first shift begins with awareness, the recognition that every untruth, no matter how small, leaves an energetic fingerprint. Edgar Cayce often spoke of returning to the pattern, a process where truth and integrity realign the body, mind, and subtle energies with their original clarity. Paracelsus echoed this, teaching that the healer's role begins with restoring balance between thought, word, and deed. Shamans across cultures describe truthfulness as a fire that burns away energetic knots, dissolving stagnant pockets and restoring flow. In Eastern traditions, the clearing of nadis or qi channels through honest expression allows life force to move freely again, replenishing vitality and emotional stability. Blavatsky wrote that truth acts like a beam of light within the aura, cutting through fog and revealing the soul's radiant core. The Kabbalists teach that when words are aligned with cosmic vibration, the aura becomes luminous and magnetic, attracting harmony and repelling discord. Even in modern science, psychologists find that confession relieves physiological stress, suggesting that honesty not only restores the mind but also the subtle field that surrounds us. Socially, the effects are just as profound. Relationships mend, trust strengthens, and the space between people feels lighter, freer, more alive. Each truthful word spoken with intent is like weaving a new thread into the garment of light, repairing what was frayed and re-establishing symmetry in the design. Authority whispers once again. Ramon Llull insisted that clarity returns to the soul when integrity is restored. Rosicrucian texts proclaim that the pure word is a living key to vitality. Edgar Cayce affirmed that alignment with truth strengthens the very fabric of the energy field. In the next stage, we will examine how sustained integrity not only heals but transforms the aura, making it a beacon of influence, protection, and spiritual power in a world often clouded by dissonance. When integrity becomes a way of being rather than an occasional choice, the aura transforms from a fragile field into a radiant fortress. Truth, spoken consistently, reinforces the subtle body like tempered glass, transparent yet unbreakable. Edgar Cayce described such an aura as self-healing, where even accidental imbalances are quickly corrected by the constant resonance of honesty. Paracelsus would have called this the harmonious vessel, a body and soul so aligned that dissonance cannot take root. In Eastern traditions, a truth-aligned aura is said to flow like a river in perpetual spring, washing away stagnation before it settles, keeping the nadis or meridians clear and vital. Blavatsky emphasized that in this state, the aura acts not only as a personal shield but as a transmitter of higher frequencies, influencing others simply through presence. The Kabbalists teach that such an individual vibrates in rhythm with divine order, their words carrying weight far beyond the physical ear, shaping events and aligning circumstances in ways unseen but deeply felt. Shamans speak of the truth-bearer's light, a quality in which lies falter and illusions unravel in their presence, not because of confrontation but because the frequency itself is incompatible with deception. Socially, the change is undeniable. People feel safer, more open, and more authentic around one whose aura broadcasts consistency and integrity. Even modern studies on social trust echo this, showing that humans instinctively gravitate toward those whose verbal and nonverbal signals align perfectly. The transformation of the aura through sustained truth is not about perfection but about constancy, returning again and again to alignment after moments of faltering. Authority reminds us. Ramon Yui taught that harmony between thought, word, and deed turns the soul into a clear mirror. Rosicrucian writings claim that truth fortifies the light body against spiritual interference, and Edgar Cayce affirmed that integrity creates an energetic resilience that even chaos cannot fracture. In our final stage, we will bring together all these threads, exploring the profound spiritual and practical power of living in complete alignment, and the way it shapes both the inner self and the outer world. Truth, in its purest form, is not simply a moral choice but a frequency, a steady, unshakable note that keeps the soul in tune with the cosmos. We have walked through the shadows and seen how deception leaves its fingerprints upon the aura, the darkened swirls around the throat, the energetic knots in the solar plexus, the dense clouds that veil intuition and clarity. We have learned from the sages, Paracelsus, Ramon Yui, Blavatsky, the Rosicrucians, and Edgar Cayce, that dishonesty is more than a fleeting act. It is an imprint on the subtle body, a disruption in the sacred architecture of light that surrounds and protects us. We have also seen that restoration is not only possible but inevitable for those who return again and again to alignment. Each truthful word cleanses, each act of integrity strengthens, each moment of self-honesty clears another pane of the soul's mirror. A truth-aligned aura becomes luminous, magnetic, and resilient, a living testament to harmony between thought, word, and deed. And so, Seeker, the question turns to you. As you move through this world of shadows and light, how do your words shape the unseen field around you?